Dealing efficiently with difficult people in tense situations is a skill often expected from good project managers. In a conflict, when we feel in danger or stressed out, we often fall back one of three basic behaviors: flight, fight, or freeze. In a difficult project management situation, flight means we do not stand up for our interest. We avoid conflict at the cost of project results. Fight means we push too hard and we alienate our partner in the process to get what we want. And freeze is when we just simply do nothing, when the situation is too hard to handle and we have no idea what to do. We do not want to fight and we can't fight. We are not able to, or we just don't have the courage to push back. Now, none of these strategies works in a difficult project management situation. Flight is obvious. Freeze is also obvious, but fight doesn't work either, because if you push too hard, you may get what you want in the particular situation, but your partner will include your hardness in the estimate. So next time they prepare for you. Next time it will be harder to push. Next time you need to fight even more, and the situation may escalate, even in the first round. A better approach is what you can see in the Thomas Kilmann conflict resolution model, when you combine assertiveness, which is not aggressiveness, and cooperativeness, and try to maximize both in order to achieve results in your project without alienating your partner. Now, how to be assertive and cooperative at the same time? So it is very hard, and assertiveness is often confused with being tough, maybe in a polite language, but you still push back, you still push too hard, you are still aggressive, but maybe in a civilized manner. What differentiates assertiveness and aggression, assertiveness combined with cooperativeness, and just simply being a nice but tough guy, is the first step. When you empathize with your partner before generating your alternatives to solve the problem. So to be effective and to get results without escalating a conflict, you need to understand your counterpart. You need to understand the other side. You need to place yourself in his or her shoe. And once you did that, you will be able to see options you didn't see before, understand the partner's argument, and maybe come up with solutions and see the trade-offs you can make in terms of, like in most conflicts, there is the conflict is not, the situation is not about a single factor. It is not about a win or lose kind of situation. You may be able to find a compromise when you can give your partner what is important to them and get what is important to you. For example, if deadline is important for the project, then you can trade off certain bells and whistles. I mean, not the important parts of the scope, not the important deliverables, not the important features, but some minor extras. Or if these or if certain functions are more important to your partner than others, then you may make a trade-off of making sure they got what they really need and want, and maybe cut back on the quality or the scope or the depth of something else, but get the results on time. And being empathic also means that, and being empathic and cooperative also means that handling a difficult situation in project management efficiently is not about winning. So it's not about your ego and not about the ego of your partner. It's about the result. And as a project manager, you are responsible for focusing on the result, even if your counterpart just not able to do so because they are agitated, invested emotionally in the situation, react too strong. Maybe there is something else in the background which is really the cause of the conflict. So in these situations, your goal is not to win the debate, not to win the discussion, but to find a pathway through this jungle of conflict which helps you deliver your results. One more thing about managing difficult people effectively. When people are difficult, and I think all of us can be difficult sometimes, so it's not necessarily a certain category of people who are difficult and the rest of us are just normal human beings, kind and benevolent, with some really difficult bad guys or girls among us. But all of us can be difficult sometimes. And each of us is difficult in our own particular way. So there is no single recipe for handling difficult people effectively. It depends on the person, it depends on the background, it depends on the situation, and it also depends on your own personality. Some solutions may be obvious and easy to implement for someone else, but you just can't do that even if you can identify the solution. So handling difficult situations and dealing with difficult people in project management is a complex issue. If you can quickly give a simple answer to the question of how to deal with difficult people in project management, then you are either inexperienced or simply lying or just polishing yourself. And that is one reason aggression and firmly standing up, simply and solely firmly standing up for your version of truth is not effective management of a difficult situation in project management. Because it means that you try to use a single recipe with many different types of situations and many different types of people. Now, some cases you need to be tough. When someone is emotionally vested to a degree that you just cannot talk to them, then your only option may be to become tough, to stop them and make them listen to you. But in most cases, when emotions are high, it will already be no help. So maybe it's better to wait for a better occasion, or better to find some mediators. Not because you are not courageous enough to manage the situation, but because it wouldn't help. So, just to recap what I have said, managing difficult people and situations in project management can rarely be effective by just simply standing up and telling your truth to the other guy, regardless of how polite you are, regardless of how polished your speaking style or argument. First, you need to be empathic. You need to understand what the other person perceives from the situation, how they feel. what is important for them. And it is not only the rational part, it is also the emotional part. You need to consider that too. Second, you need to generate alternatives which incorporate what you learn from the situation or approach or interests of your partner in this conflict. And third, you need to find a way to communicate these alternatives and show how they can get what they want without stripping you of what you want or what is important for you in the given situation. Basically, this is the approach also promoted in the Thomas Kilmann model, combine assertiveness with cooperativeness and find solutions that works for both sides.